Thank you so much for joining. Today we'll start our practice coming into a comfortable seated position of your choice. So maybe that's in your chair, your back up against the back of the chair. Maybe you're sitting on the floor with a block or a pillow. You're always welcome to sit crisscross applesauce or any other comfortable position for your legs, as long as you can keep your spine straight. Start to relax your shoulders. And start to make any final movements so that you can start to relax on command. We'll take a deep, full breath in, pausing at the top. And then exhale slowly, feeling yourself begin to transition inward. Feel the support of any of your props or even just the floor beneath you. Today, can you feel yourself being held by your most loving self? As you breathe in and breathe out, begin to empty out physically, emotionally, spiritually, and even mentally, letting it all go. So that way you can dive inward. Take a moment to check in. Ask yourself how you're feeling, really feeling today, right now. And begin to notice if you are trying hard to be in this moment. You're resisting it all. And then see if you can start to relax your body, letting it spread out like water, smoothing the edges. As you allow yourself to surrender to whatever the moments ahead bring. We'll start to focus on our breathing itself, noticing where the air is coming in, following the breath, maybe even noticing it as it comes out. And we'll begin to alter it just a little bit as we start to take our breathing exercise for today. A 3-part breath. A 3-part breath. We imagine breathing into our lungs in 3 distinct segments. The first part of the inhale, we imagine travels down to the deepest part of our lungs, maybe even feeling our belly expand, our abdomen start to blow up like a balloon. And then slightly into the breath, we'll pause, take a little pause. We'll envision the middle part of our torso as we start to inhale again. And then pause. Maybe this time the rib cage expands. And then after that last little pause, we inhale one last time, imagining the air filling our lungs capacity. Maybe our collarbone starts to rise. And when you can't put any more air in that lungs, we'll go ahead and take one smooth, slow and steady exhale, visioning the air releasing in those same 3 segments. Top, middle, lower part of our lungs. And we'll continue this 3-part breath at our own pace for a few rounds, letting ourselves settle into it. Inhale, pause, inhale, pause, inhale till full, smooth, slow, steady exhale immediately without a pause. And once you reach the bottom of that exhale, Begin the next cycle. Inhale, pause. Inhale, pause. Inhale. Slow, smooth exhale. And continue that breath for just a few more rounds on your own. Today we're going to talk about coming to terms with accepting the changing nature of life. Many wise teachers describe life similar to changing seasons. Just like spring flowers are bright and blossoming, and the winter is cold, so too our lives weather the seasons. We have moments in life overflowing with joy and happiness, being found when and then moments so dark when we wish we could forget them. And this is simply life. One of my favorite teachers, Jack Hornfield, describes happiness as being found when the heart is able to soften and accept the changing seasons of life, whatever they may be. So today, maybe we make a commitment to ourselves to let our hearts soften into the now, exactly as it is, and invite it in with love. From this place of acceptance, true love is possible. As you center yourself with your breath, take a moment to feel the current season of your life, letting all the thoughts and feelings and accepting them. As you breathe, soften, and invite this simple moment in as it is. Beautiful job today. And we'll start to release our breath, finding its natural rhythm, its natural flow. Releasing the 3-part breath, but knowing we can call on it throughout our practice at any time as a mental focus. It's a way to calm ourselves as we move through the pat practice. And then let's take a moment to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude. And we took time out of our busy day to meet ourselves here in this space, in this moment, exactly as it is. Beautiful job. Now we'll gently start to wiggle fingers and toes, and then we'll flutter our eyes open, and we'll start to add some gentle movement into our practice. Let's start by dropping our chin down towards our torso, stretching through the back of our neck. As you inhale, allow your left shoulder to roll over towards your right ear. And pause here for just a second. You can either just stay with the neck bent, or maybe you take your left hand and let it rest on the right side of your head. It could also feel nice to take your right hand out to the side, either by your hip or extend it. You could move that right hand forward or back, allowing you to find that Perfect stretch in the side of the neck for you. With our exhale, we'll release that side and let the neck roll through the center torso over the right ear, right shoulder. And just like the other side, maybe you hold here for a moment or make adjustments with that left hand or try to find a really yummy stretch on the left side of your neck. Beautiful job. Last breath here. Exhale to bring your chin down towards your torso one more time. And then finding some dynamic movement now. Maybe you roll from ear to ear through the center. Maybe if it feels good in your neck, you can do full circles, neck rolls. And as you're exploring, you're always welcome to let yourself find any place that feels good and pause there, stretching it out. All right. Go ahead and bring the torso back to straight, the neck in neutral. And from here, we're going to move into our variation of child's pose. So if on the mat, you'll take your knees wide, start to stretch the arms out long, reaching the forehead down towards the mat, and placing a block or prop underneath of it. Here in the chair, make sure we're at the edge of the chair so we have some space between the back. And then start to move your feet just a little bit wider than hip distance. And as you exhale, begin to hinge and fold forward, tucking chin towards your torso once more. You can keep your hands on your lap, or if you'd like to get that extended arm version, maybe bring a prop under your hands and extend your arms out long in front of you. Take just a couple of breaths here, maybe even one of those 3-part breaths. Maybe even the exhale has a little bit of a sigh. Beautiful job. Now with our next inhale, we're going to walk our hands back towards our legs and come into a heroes or a half heroes. So if you're in the chair, you'll take a half heroes. You'll slide over to the right and you'll go ahead and bring that right foot back behind you, letting the knee fall down towards the mat. And you can have your toes tucked or untucked there. On the mat, you'll come into a full heroes here and maybe tuck those toes or sit up on a prop, making sure to be mindful of the knees. If they need a little cushioning, you're always welcome to do that. So wherever you're at in your heroes, let's inhale and start to let our arms float up overhead. And then let's take our left hand down by our left hip and begin to take it into a side bend over towards the left side, reaching the right arm alongside the right ear. Great job. Inhale to float it back up. And then with our next exhale, we're going to twist towards the right, twisting at the hips towards the right side of our body. Now you're always welcome to bring that left hand inside the left leg or outside the right leg, whatever feels better for your body as you twist to the right. Great job. Inhale through center. Exhale, bring your hands down to a prayer. And if you're in the chair, let's go ahead and switch sides, coming over to the left side and taking that left foot back. Great job. We inhale to let the arms float up. Exhale, right hand comes down by right hip as we lean over to the right, letting the left arm come overhead. Inhale back through center. Exhale, twist at the hips to the left. Really work to keep your spine straight in your twists. Lengthening it up towards the ceiling, even though it's twisting on its axis. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale through prayer. Alrighty, from here, we're gonna move into a camel variation. So if you're on the mat, you're gonna come up onto your knees and maybe place some blocks back by your hips if you like to have blocks for your camel. And seated in the chair, we'll stay in our seated mountain. We'll inhale, start to let those arms reach overhead, feeling that length through our spine. And then with our exhale, you can always keep your hands overhead if this is the most stable for you, or you could bring your hands to your lower back or to your chair. But either way, we start to lift our heart, lift our chin, roll those shoulders back behind you, opening up through your heart space. If you're on the mat, you want to actively pull your hips forward, and you can either keep your hands lifted and overhead, on your hips, or maybe drop them down to the blocks by your feet. Great job. Inhale, come back up, the arms overhead. And then we're gonna twist it. So we're gonna take our right hand, either to the right hip or over to the, and then slide it to the left hip. You're taking it with blocks. You'll bring the block outside the opposite foot. If you're on the chair, you'll take it across to the other side of the chair. Our opposite arm stays up overhead and swoops almost like a side bend to the other side of the room. So it's a little bit of a combo twist and side bend in our camel variation. Inhale to bring it back through center. Tall spine. And let's tie that to the second side. Opposite hand either comes to hip or chair. Or if you're keeping your hands overhead, we're just twist and lean. Go ahead and find that opposite hip and then lean it over. Great job. Let's bring it back through center. Exhale, hands to heart center. From there, let's come into a tabletop on mat. That'll be on hands and knees with hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And if you're taking these from chair poses, let's go ahead and come up to a standing position and bring our hands onto our prop, either at the lower or higher setting. But we're also straightening arms through the shoulders. And this time you'll be on your feet, so it'll be hips on heels in alignment with a gentle bend. All right, wow, that you're in your tabletop with your spine straight, your gaze down. Let's start to add a little cat-cow movement. First, arching the spine towards the ceiling, tucking chin to torso. And then exhale, rounding the spine down, arching the gaze up, rolling the shoulders back. Great job. Take it at your own pace for just a few rounds. Noticing this beautiful movement through your spine. All righty, find a little stillness through the spine, and then start to take your right foot back behind you. You can leave the toes on the ground, or you can start to lift them a little or a lot off the mat. And from here, we're going to take that leg out to the right side as far as you can. Touch the toe down. And then rainbow arc it over to the left side. Tap the toe down. Take this at your own pace. A little half circle as part of your tabletop. And again, if you want to keep your foot on the floor, you're welcome to slide it in that half circle along the floor. Or if you want to get a little height, you're welcome to lift it up behind you. Great job. Okay, go ahead and pause, come back into your tabletop. We're going to keep that same side though, bend the knee and start to kick the foot behind you for some glute kicks. We'll take that 3 times. Great job. Come back to your tabletop. We're gonna take that the same side. This time, curl your knee in towards your torso. And then take it out to the right side in that bent knee position for fire hydrant. And we'll do that 3 times to the side. Lift and lower. Great job. Come back into your tabletop. Feel free to make any movement your body needs. And we'll set up for side 2. Start to send that left leg behind you. Toes on the ground, pointed or lifted. And then start to take the foot out to the left side. Tap down. Rainbow arc of your choice over to the right. Take it at your own pace. Noticing how this feels through your body. Great job, tabletop. Inhale, glute kick 3 times. Squeeze your glute as you kick the foot back. Tabletop on your done. Inhale, knee comes towards your torso. And then lifts towards the left side, fire hydrant. Take it 2 more times. Great job, tabletop. And then let's find yourself coming into our first standing mountain all together. Great job getting yourself all nice and warmed up, heated up like summer here. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. Right hand can come down to hip or stay up overhead or come to a prop. We're going to lean to the right. Inhale through center. Cactus twist to the right. Letting the arms come into a cactus and twisting from the hips. Inhale through center. Exhale, take your lean to the left. Inhale through center. Cactus twist to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, let your arms swan dive as you hinge into a forward fold. Letting the head drip towards the floor. Generous bend in your knees. Pressing into the hands, we lift halfway, figure 7. Exhale, hinge and fold. Bend the knees deeply, sink the hips, take a slow roll, coming back up to standing. Circling arms overhead. Now here you can keep those hands overhead or you can hold on to something for a little bit of support, but we're going to come into a standing back bend, letting one or both hands come behind our head and letting our gaze follow for as much as available. Great job. Exhale, bring it down into your prayer and then mountain pose, releasing into mountain. All righty. For this next few moves, we're going to do a Cobra Sphinx variation, and you're always welcome to come onto the ground for this, or it might feel just a little bit better up close to a wall. We'll be using a wall on and off today, so that might be your option for today. And if you want, you can always use the chair as well, but I do suggest if you're using a chair, you're putting it up against a surface so that it won't move. All right. So whatever prop we're choosing to bring ourselves up against, we're going to start as close to that prop as feels good. You can have a little space, that's fine. Hands under shoulders. Forehead in line with the spine. With our next inhale, we're going to start to press into our hands, coming into that baby cobra. It's such a small cobra, you could even lift your hands and still have that same back bend. On the mat, that might not be as accessible on. Great job. All right. Exhale, bring your forehead back into alignment with your body. And then wherever your hands are, go ahead and slide it so your elbows are in that space and your hands are parallel against the surface. You again want to create a little extra space here. That might feel even better. And just like that cobra, we're going to press into our elbows and arms, but then we come into that baby back bend. Noticing how it feels from this slightly different variation. Exhale, release forehead towards alignment. All right, you can keep your hands like this and bring them back into the cobra position as if it feels more balancing. And then we're going to start to lift our right leg and kick it behind us long with the toe pointed, extending through our hip flexor or the front of our thigh. Great job. Bring that foot back into alignment. And then we'll take second side, lifting the toes behind us, keeping the legs straight, really stretching through the front of that hip flexor. Great job. Go ahead and come back to alignment. All right. If you're on the wall or a standing prop, go ahead and turn so your right side is facing that prop of your choice. If you're taking this from the floor, we're going to come up into a tabletop. Also bring that right hand under the face and then turn into a side plank here, bringing the knee down and extending the leg length. If you're on the wall, go ahead and give yourself just a little bit of space and then lean into the wall. So we're also in that side plank position. No matter which variation, which orientation, we're keeping our wrist, elbow, shoulder in a straight line. And by adding the weight to it, we're loading those joints. We're building a little bit of a steam ring. Go ahead and open your opposite arm long. Feel that extension. Notice how it feels to lift it up overhead and maybe lift your outer hip away from the prop you're resting your hand on. Taking it into a big side bend. Inhale to bring it back through center. Arms wide like a T. And then we're going to thread the needle. So we'll take that extended arm. We'll cross it across our torso, between our arm and our torso. Pull it through back as far as you possibly can. And then open it back. Take this twist a few times at your own pace. You can go fast or slow. Noticing how that feels to the body. Beautiful job. Last one, open it up. Exhale to reset side two. This time the left hand comes under you or in line with the shoulders and the right hand extends. Our next inhale allows that outside arm to arch overhead as we pull our outer hip away from the surface our hand is pressing into. Inhale to bring it back through it to a T. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale to open it up. Take it at your pace. Great job. Last breath here. Inhale to open it up wide. Exhale to release. Alrighty. From the ground, we're going to come into a gate in our legs. So we'll send that right leg out long and we'll stay on that left knee, start to make a straight line with our line. If we're taking these from chair poses, I would suggest bringing a prop towards your wall of choice, letting sure it's nice and stable. And then You'll bring your left knee into a bent position, either on a low prop or high prop. It could even just be a block. But we're getting that nice little bend to the knee. And then work that opposite leg at just a little bit of an angle out to the side. Alrighty, from here, we'll make sure to lift our arms up overhead first. With our exhale, we're going to take our right hand on our hip or maybe slide it down that right leg as we lean over into our gate pose. And from the chair, you can also hold on to your opposite leg for support as you take that hinge, or you can bring your hand to your prop at any point for just a little added support. Inhale, bring arms back to overhead position. And then we're going to take it into a counter stretch. So we're going to take that left hand either to our knee, to a prop, or even to a block on the floor. And then hinge over, lengthening through the right side of the body. Great job. Inhale to bring it back through center. And then let's go ahead and bring our hands down either onto our legs, onto our prop, or onto the floor, almost like a tabletop. And then sink your heel back, your hips just a little back behind you towards your heels. And see where that invites the stretch into. Great job. Inhale to bring it back up to your gate pose. We'll bring that left leg in and let's switch sides. The right leg is now in that bent position. Left leg extended a little or a lot, depending on which variation we're choosing. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, left hand to hip. Start to lean it down. Again, you're always welcome to keep that right arm extended along the ear or bring it down for a little support. Inhale, let arms float through center. Exhale, our counterbalance, thinking that right hand down, stretching from toe to fingertip along the left side body. Great job. Inhale back through center. Hands come down. Feel hips and heels start to find each other. Great job. Inhale to bring it back to gate. Exhale to release, bringing left leg down or back. Alrighty, from our position, we'll move into a downward facing dog. You're always welcome to use your chair for this or the wall, or even come down onto the floor if that's part of your practice. Start to make that familiar V shape and pedal through the legs just a few times, letting the arms extend long and the head to dangle in between the arms. We'll pause here to take one of those 3-part breaths with an exhale on the side. And take 2 more just like that. Beautiful job. From here, let's inhale, lift the right toes behind us. You're welcome to keep the toe touched or lift it up as high as feels good. And then with our next exhale, let's bring our knee towards our nose and round through the spine. Exhale, extending the leg for 3-legged dog. Inhale, round knee to nose. Last time, extend it. three-legged dog. Inhale, round knee towards nose. And then step your right foot and down close to your hands. And then step the left foot back. As we inhale, we'll bring our hands up to our prop, maybe a prayer, as we settle into a high lunge here. We're squeezing our thigh muscles together. We're engaging our core. Beautiful. This will be pose one in this next flow. As we inhale, we'll straighten both legs. And then exhale, hinge over that front leg for pyramid pose. This is pose two. We're going to find a little bit of a pulse between these two poses, moving at your own pace. So as you inhale, bend through the knees, lift your torso and hands to your high lunge. You can even send those arms airborne if you feel like it. And then with our exhale, they circle down, find a prop, frame the foot, straighten both legs and hinge over that front leg. And you again, with any pulse or dynamic movement, go as fast or as slow as you'd like. We'll take just a couple more breaths in this pulsing on this side. Great job. Last time, inhale it up. Exhale, let the hands come down and then step the back leg in. Let's switch sides. Go ahead and take the opposite foot back. Find your high lunge of choice. Settle in. Beautiful job. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, hinge over that front leg. Take it at your pulse, moving at your own speed. Moving between lunge and pyramid. A little dynamic heat building. Last one, inhale, high lunge. Exhale, step it in. Go ahead and come into your mountain pose. We're going to do a little bit of a balance challenge. And for this balance challenge, I recommend moving extra props out of the way. You're going to need a little bit of space. And you can either use your chair or the wall for balance. We'll start by bringing our right hand to whatever prop we're using for balance. Left hand can go on your hip. And then just like before, we're going to start to send the outer leg out and point the toe down. Now you can keep it on the mat or you can lift it as high as you feel. We're going to find a spot on the floor that's not moving. For more of a challenge, you can keep your hands on your hips. But for more stability, keep one on the wall or a prop and always keep a bend in your standing leg. Now go ahead and bring that foot forward and then rainbow arc it back behind. So very similar to that tabletop move we were doing earlier. You're going to go at your own pace. Then that foot can slide along the floor or not. You have it high as you want. Notice what's happening in that outer hip. You're doing great. All right, last one. Go ahead and come back through mountain. And let's switch sides. Inhale, let the left foot come out. Forward and then back. As fast or as slow as that hip is wanting to move today. Great job. Last time. Bring it back through center. Great job. All right, our last wall pose for today. We're going to bring our left side up against a wall. Again, you have some space so you can be right up against it. And then we're going to start to lift our left hand as high on the wall or the piece of furniture as feels good. From here, we're going to start to walk that hand back behind us. And this is where creating a little space might come in handy, because as you create space for your body, you create space for that shoulder as well to open up. And you can take it all the way down to about shoulder height. You could take it even lower. You could leave it up high. It really depends on what stretch feels the best in your shoulder. You really want to keep your body turned away from that hand to feel the stretch through that outer shoulder. And press into the hand wherever it's located. It'll add a little counter pressure. Great job. All right, last breath here. Walk the hand back up to the highest point on the wall. And then with a great big sigh, let it come down by your hand, hip, and give it a shake or a wiggle. Great job. Let's take that over to the other side. And as you're ready, start to walk it back behind you, stretching through that shoulder. You're doing a brilliant job today. One more breath here, pressing that hand in, stretching through that shoulder. Inhale to lift. And a great big sigh of an exhale to release that shoulder and take any movement you need. All righty. You're taking chair poses. Go ahead and come standing in front of your chair. You're taking mat poses. You can come maybe a little closer to the wall if you'd like, or in the center of your space for more of a little bit of a challenge. I want you to keep your feet a little wider than hip distance. And then we're going to start to bring our hands to our hips and start to bend into our legs for a shallow squat. Now you're welcome to stay here and just simply hover either above your chair or with your lower back on the wall, enjoying that stretch through the thigh muscles. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, come to the point where you're barely hovering and your heels are lifted. Coming into a little toe stand. And then when you can't hold it anymore, whether it's the shallow squat or the toe stand, go ahead and bring your hips down onto the prop of your choice, whether that's the floor, your chair, a block, or something else. Beautiful job. All righty. From here, we're going to come into a seated figure 4, bringing that right ankle up towards the right knee, if that's possible. You could also bring it onto a block, letting that knee open up to the side, be close or far from the other leg. And if you're on the mat, you may want to extend the left leg as you bring that right knee over, right ankle over. You can keep that left leg extended, or you can bring a bend into it, drawing it just a little closer to your heart space. Did a lot of hip and glute work, so this can feel really nice. Get a little deeper stretch as we start to come into fall. We start to cool down, resting our bodies just a little bit more. All right, go ahead and release that side. Bring the left ankle into right knee, letting left knee fall out. And again, pay attention to this side of your body. It may want the same thing, it may want something different. So make sure you're listening to your body and what it needs in this moment and in this side. Great job. All right, exhale to release left leg. From here, we're going to come into a reclined position. So if you're on the mat, go ahead and roll down into a constructive rest. And if you're in your chair, you might want to add a pillow behind you, but that's up to you. But we'll keep our hips forward and bring our shoulders back to rest on our prop. No matter where you're at, start to hug the right knee in towards your torso and take a few ankle rolls. Great. Now reverse them. Perfect. Let the right knee come out to the right side, opening up into a half frog. You can hold anywhere on the ankle, the foot, or the leg itself. You can even bring a strap and wrap it around. Great job. Go ahead and bring that knee back into center. This time, holding behind the leg or adding the strap, and start to extend the leg long. You can even walk your hands up the leg or strap, drawing it a little closer to your body if that's part of your practice. Great job. If you walk your hands up, go ahead and bring them back down. And then we're going to open that right leg out to the right side. Great job. Exhale to bring it through center. Switching sides. We inhale, left knee comes in towards our torso. And we take those ankle holds. Reverse them. Now let the left knee fall out to the left in that half frog. Inhale to bring it back through center, holding behind the leg or maybe using your strap. Extend the leg long, maybe point the toes away from you. Maybe even walk your hands up your legs or your strap. Great job, release. And then allow the left leg to fall out to the left side. Beautiful job. Bring it back in through center. Bring the feet both to the floor, mat distance or hip distance apart. And then roll through some windshield wipers, letting the knees fall in unison left to right. The next time the knees are over to the right, go ahead and pause there. And you are welcome to stack, stagger, cross, or bind in any way that feels good for you. We'll take just a couple of those 3-part breaths here as we move from the fall into a bit of hibernation of winter. We'll breathe in, pause, breathe in, pause, breathe in fully, and then a slow, steady exhale all the way out. And take 2 more just like that on this side. Right, unbind any legs, bring them back to hip distance or wider. Take a few more windshield wipers left to right. Pause at the left. And take your twist on this side, your recline twist. Again, feeling free, cross legs, to stack them, stagger them, whatever feels good for you. Cross at knees or ankles. You can use your opposite hand on the top knee. You can even send that outside arm out to the side in a T. Keep it on your prop for support. Beautiful. Exhale to unwind the spine. Feel free to take any more windshield wipers that your hips are asking. And then we'll end by coming into our favorite ball shape, whether that's knees into your torso, torso into your knees. Curling chin to chest is always a great option. Maybe you create a little tension and squeeze the hands and squeeze the feet, or maybe even squeezing the jaw. And then as you're ready, exhale, unfurling Maybe take a full body stretch if you'd like, taking up as much space as you can. And then finding your way into your final resting pose of choice. Come back to that constructive rest or corpse pose and stay in your chair. Maybe you move to someplace completely different that feels a little more comfortable in your space. But make any adjustments and any movements, adding pillows, blankets, sweaters, or socks that allow you to come into a place where you can start to relax on command. Maybe you gently close your eyes here. Maybe you simply soften your gaze as you allow your body to relax and your breath to find its natural rhythm. We notice the ground beneath us, offering us support, stability. As we take a deep breath in, slowly exhale, letting go of any remaining tension or worries. As we sit here together, let us turn our attention to the changing seasons. Nature moves through a beautiful cycle, with each season bringing its own unique energies and lessons. Just as the earth moves through spring, summer, autumn, and winter, so too do we experience seasons in our lives. Each season has its purpose, its beauty, reminding us that changing is as natural and essential part of life. We currently are in our winter season. Winter is a time of stillness, time of reflection, and even a time of rest. The earth slows down, plants retreat, and animals hibernate. The season invites us to turn inward, to find peace in quiet moments, and to embrace the opportunity for introspection. Think about how winter mirrors times in our own lives when we are called to slow down, to reflect, even to recharge. These moments are not about doing, but instead about being. They remind us that it is okay to rest, to take a pause, and to honor the need for self-care and renewal. As we embrace the changing nature of life, let us cultivate acceptance and gratitude, accepting the ebb and flow of experiences, knowing that each season, whether joyful or challenging, has its place and its purpose. Reflecting on the lessons and growth that come from each phase. Taking steady, slow, deep breath in. Can you fill your lungs with this acceptance? And then exhale slowly as you release any resistance to change. Inhaling gratitude. Exhaling, letting your heart fill. Feel the warmth and light of gratitude spreading throughout your entire body. Take a breath in And maybe allow yourself to appreciate the beauty of this moment. Exhale slowly, allowing yourself to feel a sense of peace or acceptance. And remember, just as winter eventually gives way to spring, so do the challenging times in our life give way to new beginnings and growth. Embrace each season with an open heart and a grateful spirit. We'll take the deepest breath of our day so far, as we gently bring our awareness back to the present moment. We can wiggle fingers and toes. And when you're ready, opening your eyes as we return to our day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you stay warm on these cold, chilly nights. And thank you so much for joining. Until next time.